Kia ora, good evening everybody. We are back for another season. You're here with the Boys Get Paid. I'm Matt Davies. Luke Kimmies, how are you, brother?
Very well, mate. Gee, it's good to be back. I'm a little bit excited, a little bit aroused.
Outstanding. That's a bloody good start, mate. And we've got Dan Stackham and Rackham joining us this week as well, mate. How are you?
Mate, I'm very good. That intro just gets me fucking fizzing.
It's a good intro, eh? I tell you what gets you fizzing as well. Beers at 3:30 p.m, Dan. What's been happening there, mate?
Oh, I thought I had a couple of nerves coming into it, so I thought I'd just ease into it and have a couple of beers and come in a little bit hot.
You've come a long way, mate, from turning up at the Everest and then obviously coming on a podcast with Next Advisory recently as well for a bit of a trial.
Yeah.
And hosting people at Alex Park. What can't you do? And now live in the flesh here in the Export Beer Garden studio.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
He's got a few export goals in front of him. He's ready to go. It's a 4-day working week for Dan Rack as well. So this is his Friday.
That's
mate.
right.
Absolutely.
He's got some punts coming at you as well. I'm sure there will be some coming for everybody out there. Thank you very much for joining in. As always, everybody, it's awesome to have you here with us. It's awesome to be back for another season. It doesn't quite feel like spring yet, but it is nearly spring. We've got the Foxbridge plate on Saturday afternoon at Tarapa. So the lads will be going through that a little bit in due course, but still plenty to sort of catch up on what's been going on across the winter. There's obviously been some comings and goings at the TAB and the like. We've got a few events to sort of announce and probably give very little detail on at this point, but there'll be something, won't there, Luke?
Oh, there's always something going on in the background.
How's life, Luke? You been well, mate?
Good, mate. I managed to get over to the Kentucky Derby.
That's right.
In May. 150,000 people go to that race day.
Yeah.
You go racing there, racing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Oaks on the Friday. We picked the winner and the futures of the Oaks. So we had a bit of a fill-up. And then you really get stuck into it. And then the New Zealand racing can kind of kick off too. So we had a couple of late nights staying up to get on the Awapuni synthetic.
How'd you go?
Oh, not great. Yeah. We had, look, it was, anyway, we won't go too deep into that. But yeah, 110,000 to Oaks Day. You back up the next day, you're straight into it. No shit. We woke up the next morning. We went out after the Oaks because we'd won. And we woke up the next morning. We chucked on the TV. And they have these races on, and we're thinking, oh, yeah, fucking brilliant. They've got like a derby preview here. Nah, it was race 3.
What?
We'd already missed the first 3 races. They kick off super early. But yeah, it was really cool. They do things well over there. Crazy. 150,000 people, no lines to get in.
Okay.
So
I'm glad we clarified that.
You go in as well, and they just carry around booze. And have big, like, chili bins that they're carrying around, and you just tip the person and grab as many beers as you want, so you don't have to, like, line up and wait for your $12 Steinlager or your bloody Stella Artois or whatever you don't actually want to be drinking. You just grab what you want. I'm talking seltzers, and they have pre-made cocktails and shit.
Right.
And you just tip $1 to the person, and then into it and carry on.
So hold on, have you paid for the beers in advance?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to
That's
say.
a free badge. You just
No. So we're in like an all-inclusive area, but once you're in that area, the people are just,
Yeah. How'd you go on the punt?
We went not too bad.
Yeah.
We had it was obviously quite tricky, not exactly knowing the American form, but obviously fucking punting like we did. But we managed to find a couple of winners, and we had a big bet called Tap at Treese in the Derby. That was all the talk. The grey horse. They get going at like about the 1200, just riding the shit out of them. Don't mind sitting 3 wide coming to the turn. And our thing couldn't quite muster a place, so that was a bit deflating. But no, we had a hell of a time, and then went to Vegas from there as well. And Rob Bolden arsehole.
I got a message from you in Vegas because I was trying to work out some admin with BGP podcasts coming up and things like that, and it was an incoherent video message, which I really, really enjoyed. But do you remember it?
I remember sending a few of those around. I was a bit unwell over there. That must have been that day, yeah.
Oh, you were cruising around Vegas, having the time of your life. You were abusing somebody on the street as you were trying to send me a message.
Doesn't sound like me.
Mate, it was awesome. I loved it. I
think we'd been to Rod Stewart that night.
What?
Yeah, we're the youngest people there by a mile.
He's great.
He was very good, and can pull a crowd and can pull the ladies by the looks.
Good work.
Expensive place. Save up if you're going to go to Vegas, because I tell you what, they know how to get money out of your pocket. Everything costs, and as soon as you start losing at the casino and you put your money into those machines there, the money's getting transferred or converted at $1.80.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Brutal.
That's your winter, Luke. It sounds pretty good. In a nutshell, everybody remember to get into the comments. We've got producer Adam back with us this season, who's getting into the comments, seeing what people have got to say. I think we want people to comment on what their punt for the Foxbridge plate is, but also your futures bets on Instagram. I think Luke's going to be reading out a few of those. Luke had a great winter at the Kentucky Derby, but there have also been some BGP events this winter. Dan, mate, you led one at Alex Park, and it sounds like it was a bloody good night.
Yeah, that was the first event that I sort of tried to put together, and it felt like it was all a little bit last minute, but it ended up being a great night. We put together a bit of a punters club there. We didn't fare too well. We got pretty close. Actually, I've still got a couple of the bet slips from that night.
Have you?
Yeah, one of them, Magic 4, lost by a nose.
Saw that.
That was a big swing.
Brutal.
Yeah, it was hard. But yeah, I had an absolute blast. Ended up in the president's room or something afterwards. It was just free for all, like free drink. I know.
Guy Havelt was there with you, is that right?
Yeah, he was cooked.
Cheers, Guy.
Yeah, good on you, Guy. Good work, mate. Well, would have
But
been.
no, a bunch of my friends came along that had never been to racing before, and they just had the best time. They were just sitting there, throwing around $5 each way on races, and they'd tell me every time they backed the $50 shot or whatever, and they made their $40.
Yeah.
I lost all my money, but no, it ended up being just they all just kept telling me afterwards that it was the best time. Like they really enjoyed themselves, so that's what it's all about.
And shout out Fitzy, he came up and gave you a hand, didn't he?
Yep, yeah, Fitzy, right. Legend. Absolute legend. So Fitzy and Matt Davies, we'd done the
Matt Markham.
Sorry.
I don't know harness racing at all. I don't know gallops, let alone fucking harness.
Matty Markham, we done that podcast a few days before. And funny enough, we went through the Auckland Cup, and one of the comments I said was, "Oh, we can't leave out Arcuda, can we?" And we said, it's going to come back and bite us in the ass, and sure enough, it did.
Ouch. Hey, on that, what's your thoughts on carrying around like losing tickets like that? Because I'm a bit of a sicko. I've got a few of the really old bets, but I also behind me at work, I see it every day, is the Karaka Million 2023 racebook, and it's just a reminder. It's just trolling me. Like, there's fucking unfinished business to do.
For me, it's just an inspiration. Just do better. Be better.
Yeah, good. What do you reckon, Matt? Get rid of it? Get it out of sight, out of mind?
I'm fully electronic, mate. The race book to me is a stain on our society. We need to recycle it and get rid of it. But vote green. Don't. I'm joking. But I don't hold. Vote who you like. I don't hold my race books. But I can understand inspiration. After the last year's Karaka Millions, there is surely a lot of inspiration going into this year, I would have thought.
Yeah, there's some work to do.
Another event that we had over the winter, obviously, we've got, Luke, you hold it up, mate, the Warriors. I forgot to say, I think on the last podcast of last year, I absolutely slayed them, and I said if you bet on the Warriors every single game, you are guaranteed, or if you bet against the Warriors, you're guaranteed to make money over your whole career. And then since then, honestly, they've been on absolute fire. Nothing to do with me at all, but I do feel guilty, and I do need to send out an apology to the Warriors because they've been awesome, and we had a great day at the Warriors.
Didn't we just? Yeah, actually, I'm going to clip out that comment you made in that last podcast, and I'm going to get a couple of the Fords.
Mark Tukey.
You can run straight at one of the props and see how you go. But we did, mate. We had a great time. We had the Stacey Jones Lounge. I think we had about 130 people come along.
Awesome. It was so good.
Awesome view up there, eh?
Yeah.
Good group of people too. We had boat races going on. There was a lot on
That's
in that room.
That's right. The Dolphins versus Warriors boat race at the end. Who won?
The Dolphins, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, the fins up, mate. They were into it.
Nah, but they had Warriors fans that they pulled in because there weren't enough Dolphins fans.
Oh, that's good. It's how it should be at
They
Mount Smart.
adjudicated that race, and I'm pretty sure it was cheated.
Yeah. And people were punting in the lounge as well. There were a few people winning. There was some bloke who couldn't get beat. He was tipping them out. Then he just kind of strolled off. I was like, right, see you, boys. He was out of there. Like, hey,
yeah.
Mate.
Yeah, there was an awesome crowd, and most of the people, I think, stayed up. The view, for those that don't know, is right above, I think that's the west stand, isn't it? And it's like the best view that you can get in the house on top. There's TVs around and everything. So we're going to do that again, mate?
Oh, I mean, you'd probably have to, especially if the Warriors are going that good.
Agree, yeah, absolutely. They're on absolute fire. Good luck to the Warriors tomorrow night. I think you're going, aren't you, Luke?
Yeah, might actually do an event at the grand final as well if anyone wants to come on. Warriors versus Penrith, maybe?
Get your tickets in early. Thanks very much to the Warriors for supporting BGP throughout that event as well. And Mark Tukey even made an appearance, did a Q&A. That was absolutely outstanding. Great to see him. Not that we could hear him that well, but it was pretty good. Everybody was steamed by that time. It was good times.
And Lenny and the boys from the Kiwi Rugby League podcast as well.
Yeah.
They were fired up.
Do you have a good day, Dan?
Yeah, oh, mate, I had a ripper of a day. I was just going to say, look, I think while Mark Turkey was speaking, I was intently listening to him, but I was still being a bit of a sicko and punting on like the Toowoomba synthetic or something like.
Jesus. Actually, it was awesome because he walked in and we had the races on, and he didn't really realise what was going on. He just knew he had to make a speech, and they'd kind of said that there's a bunch of punters in there. And he saw the races on. He was like, "Oh no, fuck! Hold on, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to punt on this race." It was like, "This is perfect."
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'll tip one out."
He was
love it.
Absolutely
Cheeky.
brilliant. Thanks, Tooks. We'll see you next year, hopefully at the Warriors as well. But hey, keep your comments coming in, people. Like we said, it's absolutely great to have you here, Luke, Dan, and Matt. We're with you for another season. Dan, are you here all season, mate? You're going to be coming and going, eh?
Mate, I'm available when I get the call up. So, you know,
Perfect.
Friday night podcasting for old Dan. That's good shit, mate. It's good shit.
And Benny Boy's over there in Europe again, as he does. Swans off, once a year, twice a year at this rate, I think it is.
Mate, he's got to pay for a wedding. How's he doing this?
I don't know, mate. I don't know what I think he's going to Colombia or somewhere and bringing something back. I'm not sure. So I don't know how he's paying for all the things that he's doing.
Old
but
Pablo.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Europe or any of those places. So I've never been. But he'll be back at some stage as well. He reckons he's going to be fired up. He'll be back for the second Group 1, I think it is.
Okay. The
You boys-
Arrowfield.
Yeah, you boys will be holding the fort down for the first Group 1.
Yeah, what are you holidays?
Yeah,
What?
I'm going to Asia.
You don't do holidays, mate.
No, I've got to go to a retreat in Bali.
A yoga what?
Yeah,
What's that like?
Yeah, I've got a yoga retreat in Bali. No, I'm not actually. Going overseas for a couple of weeks.
good
So
on-
I'll miss that first Group 1. Fuck, could not have timed this worse. I'm going to miss the Warriors playing at Mount Smart, potentially. Anyway, I shouldn't be complaining too much to get to go overseas.
weren't you just in Bali?
No, I was in Philippines.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
Yeah.
don't Bali have some sort of like tax implications or something? I think an accountant, you're cooking the books.
Yeah, you know what I'm up to.
Ben and Pablo there. Good on you, Taz. Hope you guys have a good time away. You enjoy that, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
We will miss you, but Dan and I will hold the fort, and we'll still be here. We've got plenty coming up this season. Tonight, we've still got the best bets to come. We've obviously got Ted, the man himself, giving us a best bet. The GOAT sent one through, and Matty from Punt IQ, who's always on fire, has sent one through as well. So hold your horses for those a little bit later on in the show after we've got through some futures and some Foxbridge plate. But in terms of the industry, mate, don't want to get too serious on this, but Luke's buzzing. There's plenty going on. There's been plenty of news, mate. Update the community.
Well, I think by now probably everyone's read and got their head around what's going on. But by the sounds of things, it's been very well received in the entire industry of the people that I've caught up with. For the first time in a long time, I think there's a feeling that there's actually some money that we can tap into, whether that be as owners, punters, trainers, jockeys, the clubs. And that's probably what's been lacking and probably holding the industry back in some ways over the last maybe 15 years that I've been following it, and even longer as well. So I think with this partnership or whatever terminology you want to use with Entain, it's going to allow the New Zealand industry to leverage off of their balance sheet, which is basically their retained earnings and money and things like that, and the ways that they do things. And really build up racing here again. And they're obviously very focused on racing over there in Australia, and they're going to bring some of that here to New Zealand as well. So you've already seen some pretty big announcements around some of the things that they're doing. So we won't go into all their details. That's for them to communicate. But obviously some really big ones is that there's going to be another $1 million race on Karaka Million evening. So we're going to have a 4-year-old Karaka Million evening.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then a 3-year-old will move to $1.5 million.
Wow.
So you're going to have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old on that night. So that night is just going to keep getting bigger. There's even an incentive to bring some of those Australian horses out here as well. There's just been so many things. And I think for the first time in a long time, there's been a lot of positive things heading towards participants of the industry. So I just think there's a big buzz around the entire industry, and it's just going to be cool to see where it all gets to.
I listened to an interview with Chris Waller the other night where he suggested that they should potentially change it to a 10 race card and make it the real big deal, big meeting. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I could do 20 races there. Get it in my veins.
It's a long podcast, a long Punters Club, mate.
Shit, yeah. I mean, it goes very quick, and I think it's probably done what it needed to do to be rebuilt to the stage where people really love that evening again. It probably was, flatlining a little bit and was missing a bit of that sexiness, but I think at the moment, the momentum's going that way. So, yeah, I mean, I do love it because it stands out compared to some of the other race days throughout the year. But, I mean, I see where Walter's coming from. You kind of, once you're there, you want more of that. But, yeah, I think let's get through 2024 to start with, or once it's back at the Big E.
And what about that 4-year-old race? Is that you obviously have to be still Karaka qualified? It's exactly the same process. You've got to win enough races during that year to get into the...
By the seams of things, yeah. So I think Prowess might be favourite for that at this stage in the old futures, because there's futures out for it already.
Oh, Prowess didn't go to the Karaka Millions, But
won the 3-year-old.
Fuck yeah, it did too.
I think
last season's a long time ago.
I know.
Continue.
Yeah.
From what they said, it's supposed to be an open.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be open to any horses for the 3-year-olds.
Bring it on.
Okay, wow, amazing. Is J-Mac going to come over if it's at Ellerslie? And is it
surely.
going to be at Ellerslie?
Well, yeah, we're still not 100% confirmed whether we're at Ellerslie or not for the Karaka Million, for everyone, not just us, obviously. So I think there is still is it at Pukekohe? Is it at Ellerslie? Obviously, they don't want to rush back to racing on that track, but by all accounts, what we need is less rain and more good weather, and that increases the likelihood that it'll be at Ellerslie. So everybody be praying for that.
Oh,
I was down there a couple of weeks ago whacking some golf balls around the middle, and I am an expert on terra firma, and I can tell you unequivocally it's probably going to be at Ellerslie.
Yes, you heard it first.
Breaking news.
Yeah, good.
That's outstanding. Good. I'm absolutely fired up for that. Well, January 28th, I think we are.
27th.
27th. Okay, there we go. That's good. We've got a bit of water to go under the bridge before then in terms of BGP and TAB/Entain Land. Luke, though, mate, plenty going on this season for us.
Yeah, so the TAB/the Entain crew, they've got a slot in the Everest. Obviously, we all went to the Everest last year, had a great time. But
awesome time.
The Kiwis are going to be represented by I Wish I Win, which I think is $6 for the Everest at this stage. But anyway, I sat around a table with them and we're kicking some ideas around and whatnot. And that Everest day is actually election day as well. So the Greens voters like Maddie will be out in force.
Get on, come on, register.
You can't punt on it, but unfortunately. But also that is the last Group 1 from down there at Hastings as well. So I said, well, why don't we just bunker down somewhere, put an event on, get a nationwide punters club going, and just fucking tear into it for the day. And they thought, well, it's not a bad idea. Hopefully we can win. But basically what we're going to do, so we're going to do that. We're going to have a BGP base camp here in Auckland somewhere where we will go and stream from, sort of much like we did for the Karaka Million and for Melbourne Cup Day. But Nationwide Punters Club as well, so anybody can get involved. And breaking news, if you put $20 into that Punters Club, somebody is going to win a $20,000 bonus bet that they have to bet on the Karaka Million 2-year-old, 3-year-old, or 4-year-old, one of those races of your choice.
Yeah, this is serious.
This is serious.
20 grand.
20K bonus bet.
For yourself?
For yourself.
Oh, so it's not for the
Not for the syndicate.
Jeez, we were having a beer beforehand and you didn't even tell us this. This is incredible.
Yeah, not bad. And
Fuck, where do we sign up?
I know. Get it open. Get the Punters Club open.
Is it every $20 that you spend?
I don't know.
Okay.
We need to get some T's and C's.
Just to reconfirm and just...
I'm getting my Nana's account.
On
My mum's
the,
account.
Getting a revolving
Everest,
credit.
Yeah. Everybody, get an account. Everest night, this is. If
Yes.
you put $20 into the Punters Club,
Yep.
you'll get potentially, you go on the draw to get a 20 grand bonus bet.
Yep.
On?
That you have to spend on Karaka Million evening on the 2-year-old, the 3-year-old, or the 4-year-old.
Oh, man. That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. How good's that going to be? So that person that wins better come with us to the races
Absolutely.
on Karaka Million evening. However, those people as well that come along to the BGP event on Everest Day and they are in the room, there will be a draw for those people too, and somebody that is there is going to win a $5,000 bonus bet, and they have to put that on the Everest.
Right.
And then they have to put those winnings on the bar. No, that's optional. But we've got a 20K bonus bet for somebody in the country and a $5,000 bonus bet for somebody at the event.
Dan?
I'm in.
I'm speechless.
So you just need to go to the first event at the Everest.
Yep.
Okay, tick. All right. And, so,
And anyone associated with BGP cannot
Yeah.
win or enter.
Oh, as in us.
Oh, I've got to go, guys.
Like your mums, your sisters.
Oh,
yeah.
God, this is mate, you've done outstandingly well here.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Should be exciting.
I love it. The only issue that we've got is we don't actually know where we're going on Everest Day. Is that right?
Correct. But, you know,
Which is 7 weeks away.
you don't want to have all the details too soon, do
No,
you?
no, just drip feed the people
Yeah.
the information. The people are going online now. Where do I sign up to the Punters Club? Where am I going to get a beer?
Yeah.
No idea.
Hold your horses. But yeah, anyone, so just to recap, anybody around the country is going to be able to get into the Punters Club. We'll be betting for the entire day on Everest Day, and we'll get that open probably around Tarzino Day, I'd say. We'll confirm that anyway, but there'll be plenty of time to get involved. And then the event, still working on where that's going to be and exactly how that's going to look. But basically, that will be a limited number of tickets. Those will go out, and everybody that comes to that will also go in a draw to win a $5,000 bonus bet that they have to spend on Everest Day on the Everest, but they need to be in the room, so you actually have to come to the event. So I don't know why you'd pay for a ticket and not come anyway. But anyway, that's going to bring a lot of excitement around the Everest in our area, and obviously the Punters Club around the country as well. And then for this person who has to try and find their way through a $20,000 bonus bet on the 2-year-old, 3-year-old or 4-year-old race, fill your boots.
They'll probably just call you Ted and the Goat and go, who do I put it on?
I love them. Yeah, imagine
That is absolutely fantastic news. And if you can't make it to that Everest event, which surely everybody can, start putting it in your calendar now. What are we, Saturday the 14th
Yep,
of October?
Yep.
Yeah, get it in your calendar, get here. We'll also be streaming live from there. Luke, you might be coming in and out if you're running a podcast, but we'll be streaming live from that event all day. And it is Livermore Classic Day as well at Hawke's Bay, isn't it?
It is.
Is that right?
Yep.
So it's a big day's racing, big day's punting, big day's drinking for those who enjoy it, and it's election day. So this is possibly the day of the year.
it's a big old doozy.
Can we go to Axe winning party afterwards down in town? Is that...
Mate,
Are we invited?
anything's going to be possible. We might even be able to buy them out. We'll bribe some of those politicians with the amount of cash we have in the Punters Club at the end of it.
We should take 200 people to one of these election parties. It'd be
They'd be stoked to
great.
see us.
Well, wasn't last year the Caulfield Cup on the Everest Day as well? Or is that a week back this year?
There was a leak. Oh,
No, last year
yeah.
when we went to Everest, the
Yes.
Caulfield Cup.
Yeah,
So
I
is
think
that
you're
the
right.
same again this year or
no,
is it the week after?
Caulfield Cup is
can't
the
remember.
weekend. Caulfield Cup's the weekend
Is
after.
that, yeah, okay.
I can't remember, mate. I don't-
Everest was a big hill to climb last year.
All right. David Seymour, we'll see you there, mate. Good idea. Yeah. And also, sorry, this year, then, in terms of Punters Clubs, obviously the Karaka Millions is going on, but people should invest in the Everest Day because there's no New Zealand Cup Week Punters Club, which was obviously so successful last year.
Yeah, yep, no Cup Week Punters Club. A long week that, and all good and well, but obviously ties up a lot of resources and probably just a bridge too far this year.
Yep.
Yeah, leave it at that.
But we're doing the Melbourne Cup, not a Punters Club, but we're doing the Melbourne Cup.
Melbourne Cup, I hear the ACC might be doing a bit of an event somewhere, so I thought, well, maybe we might have to tag along to that and see how we go. So I'd imagine for those in Auckland, you might want to get along, but there's usually... It's good to see Melbourne Cup functions around the country. That's often a gateway into racing for a lot of everyday Kiwis who might not follow racing too closely, but hopefully we can get them watching that, even the Everest, and then along to the Karaka Million as well.
Absolutely, mate. That's an outstanding update and another awesome season. It kind of feels like, again, every year we step it up a notch, and this year it feels like it's stepping up another little notch, eh?
There's always something to build on, mate, but I would love to see as well now with this Entain deal. I would love to see... They own Ladbrokes and Neds, right? So I would love to see an option on both of those platforms saying, would you like to enter the BGP Karaka Million Punters Club? We get the Aussie dollar. We bring that to New Zealand. We start with a $3 million betting bank.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. 6 races, $500K to spend on each. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Dean Shannon,
Yeah.
that's for you.
So what we need you to do is go onto LinkedIn, search for Dean Shannon on LinkedIn, send him a DM and say, we want to see the BGP Punters Club opened up to Australians, and leave it with him. He's the CEO. He doesn't know that you're going to be doing this or know that we're saying this, but someone in this room actually messaged him once on LinkedIn and he replied. So winning
Don't know who
formula. We don't know who it was yet. Stick to it.
Good luck out there, Dan. Good luck. Or Dean,
Dean.
sorry, I should say. Dean Shannon, that is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was saying good luck to you as well, Dan. It was Dan that sent that message. Hey, before we crack on with looking forward to the season ahead, and obviously the race is coming on Saturday, one of our own, obviously, Ted, we do need to give a little bit of a special mention. I don't think we're going to go back on what we all enjoyed last season because we probably don't remember it too well. But there's a lot of water that's gone under the bridge since then. But shout out to Ted, who manages Taylor Mitchell, who won the Apprentice Premiership. He actually sent me a message this afternoon and said he started doing her rides at the beginning of the season as a 7-win 4kg claimer. So to finish as champion apprentice with 67 wins for the season and a strike rate of 6.9 and 5th overall on the Jockeys Premiership. Shit, that's good. Huge thrill, and he's extremely proud. So good on you, Ted, and good on you, Taylor. That is one hell of a season, combined with everybody else that did such a great job last season. But yeah, obviously, Ted, mate, you're kicking goals and doing well, so good on you.
Yeah, good on you, Ted. He gave me a call after that. Actually, he had a bottle of champagne to enjoy with Linda. But yeah, awesome to see, and huge thrill for Ted. And yeah, shout out to everybody who cleaned up in those Premiership Awards. There is the Horse of the Year Awards coming up at Shed 10, I believe. I can't remember the date because I'm away, but anyway, might be a Sunday.
Who's winning that?
Good details from me, eh?
Who's winning that?
No idea, mate. Can't be Nessa, I think.
Yeah, right, eh?
Surely Sharp and Smart.
Okay, yeah.
2 Group 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have thought close. Imperatrice finished off the season pretty well as well. Who knows? I don't even know who's nominated. What are you fellas looking forward to the most this season? I know we've just talked about a lot of good stuff which is going to be happening in the BGP community, but in terms of racing, what are you looking forward to, Luke?
Gee, just it getting back underway. I feel like in winter you can kind of drift away from racing a little bit. It can be a bit trickier to have a punt. We've also got a horse with Stephen Marshmallow. It's called What You Looking At.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully back on the track soon. And yeah, should it be good to see the BGP colours going around. In the winter as well, we actually had a win with Line of Law with Byron Baker over there in Australia.
Yep.
So the Silks got a win in Australia. Our Pony Princess stopped racing in the BGP Silks, and she was actually sold.
Flying home yesterday at Sandown Lakeside. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Flying home.
She's actually gone on. Some of the boys that were in that stayed in the ownership, and they've been rewarded because they've had a win as well, and then she was flying home yesterday. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be cool to have some of these good horses backing. You know, the weeks start going quite quickly when the Tuesday fields come out. Then you're looking at the odds, and then all of a sudden it's, you got something to look forward to on the Saturday. You're having your heart broken on a Saturday when Campionessa gets nosed out in some sort of race. But just getting back into the trenches.
Right up, Dan?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fizzing for everything. I can't wait to look at all the trial videos, the race replays. I think I watched about 4 hours of race videos this week.
Did you?
I absolutely loved it. Loved it.
Jeez, we better get into the previews for you then, mate.
Yeah.
Far out.
But I'm actually most looking forward to the Cox Plate. I think a Kiwi's going to win it this year.
Right.
I don't know which one. Probably Sharp and Smart.
Yeah.
But if not, Legato. One of them.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to hear the commentator just ripping home. Last year, my favourite thing was this time for the big A. That just gives me chills every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Next year, it's going to be the Kiwi.
Yeah.
Whoever
nice.
it is.
It's a cool race too, because of the track, and it's kind of almost like a cauldron, It seems it's awesome to watch, eh?
Yeah, my favourite race.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant. What about yourself, mate?
I'm almost on the same page as Dan, that some of those 3-year-olds that came out of last season look like they could be winning all sorts of races all over the place. So Sharp and Smart, Prowess was supposed to be in the Cox Plate, injured, I think, not coming out until December now, something like that. And Legato, just really, really looking forward to seeing those 3-year-olds because they just seemed unbelievable. Obviously, Penny Wecker as well. I think won the Sydney Cup or something like that. But yeah, not so much of a staying watcher for me. But all of those 3-year-olds, just hopefully they can crack on this season and win some more big races in Australia. Tayako's over there, Imperatrice is already there. The Kiwis could do well.
Yeah. Another big season for the Kiwis in Australia, taking home some of that Aussie cash.
That's it. And we'll be coming at you live on the podcast on it in a couple of weeks, just before we move on. 7th of September. Luke, this man's on holiday. We need somebody to come and join us. Surely somebody out there loves the sound of their voice, loves an Export Gold, wants to come in the Export Beer Garden studio with us and do a podcast. Put yourself out there, people. Come on, let us know. We really do want somebody else to come and join us.
Bloody oath.
You got a couple of front runners, Luke? Who are we calling out?
Who can we call out? What's G. Havelt up to these days? Guy Havelt, he works in the area.
Loves a bear.
He might, what's that?
Loves a bear.
Loves a beer.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, like a first-hand knowledge. Like the beers are free and they're good.
He was cooked.
Maybe Dan Richardson, he loves talking.
Yeah.
I can probably put about 64 sports multis on, but you can get him back on track to some racing.
He came to the Warriors too. That was good
He
value.
did. Yeah, even his partner Maria should come on here, should abuse some people. Maybe not. If I'm not here, she can't abuse me, but...
Let us know. If
Somebody.
you do, get in touch with Luke. He's the man, I think, to get in touch with. Is that right? Yep.
You don't need to do a trial or anything. You just need to be present, 6:30 p.m. on September the 7th.
That's it.
Give you the trial run.
We'll go to the cooperative over the road first for a couple of settlers, and we'll be into it.
And the good thing is, if you suck, Adam will just mute you, and you can talk, but no one will hear you.
You don't need to worry.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry.
I'm going to throw a curveball out there. Wait, come get the carrots.
Oh! Dr. Mark.
Luke, I'll leave that with you, mate.
I reckon he'll be keen.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Even Johnny England. We could just do a question and answer session with them. It'd be outstanding.
Oh, my word.
Awesome. No, get involved. Look, let's get to Te Rapa this Saturday and all the other great racing that's going on. Well, I say great racing. I think we've all scratched our head a little bit on a lot of the races. So I think basically what we'll do here is we'll get to the Foxbridge Plate. We'll talk about this. If you lads have got anything else you like on either of the cards or in Australia, feel free to sing them out, and then we'll just have a bit of a chat about some futures punts that people might be laying as well. Because obviously we've got the Spring Carnival to come. Hopefully it doesn't rain this year, so that some of those good horses can come out. But the Foxbridge Plate, as always, is the first race that everybody really takes a lot of interest in for spring racing. So it is a big one. There's a lot of interest in it, and there are some decent horses stepping out. So I reckon, mate, Luke, you just you kick us off.
Well, I reckon we should let Dan give him the first honours, just because he's done 4 hours of race replays.
That is very fair. I agree.
And let's see what he's got. The debut.
He's got his notes out.
You got big notes?
Yeah.
Brighten up that screen.
Don't let your phone lock.
Here we go. So the Fox, it was an interesting one going back and looking through it, and then just looking through all the trial form and what's going on. And then, Matty, you threw a spanner in the works about an hour and a half ago with Ted's inside on the rail being out 7 metres, 8 metres, 6 metres, being in the true position. Everything's going to be running from the front. So that just sort of threw anything that I had out the window. But what I am going to say is it is race 8 on the card, and I'm hoping that, it's probably going to be maybe a 7, a soft 7. And so I'm hoping that maybe the inside by race 8 is going to be cut up a little bit. And then obviously Luke's favourite horses, the Jumpers, going around in a couple of races there as well. So
they'll definitely cut it up.
Cutting it up and doing all sorts. So I'm thinking that there might be an opportunity for something down the outside there. This is a really good Foxbridge Plate.
It is.
There's some absolutely cracking horses in here. I've settled on one, but then I'm going to have a backup. So I've settled on Dragon Leap. Two main reasons. One is his first up run was excellent. And then I think a couple of his runs that he had in Brisbane were just outstanding. Like, he came from so far back, flew home. I think he's the class horse of this field. The challenge is the draw. Drawn out wide, 13. Going to have to go back. Going to have to run over the top. That's the only challenge. But I do believe that he's good enough to come over the top and win this race. The one that I'm going to go throw out there, which I really liked its trial, and I really liked through the winter as well, Brando.
Oh, yeah.
Nabba on board. Terrible draw. But I just feel like this horse just learnt how to race in its last sort of 3 or 4 starts.
Yeah, it did.
And for me, like $18 and $5, it's drifting. It'll probably drift to 20, 25. I think it's worth a little each way go.
Yep. Good call. You do have to have something in these races which is quite wide in the market. And $18 and $5, although Brando's top horse is quite wide, you probably want something like that in the race, because there's no superstar like there was in Imperatriz last year who won it. So something could... I think 2 years ago, Mascarpone won it probably at any old odds. So, Luke?
Yeah, look, this is a very, very hot field, as Dan's just said there. I'm really interested to see how Pear comes back this season. Drawn barrier 14, not ideal. Went over there to Australia, obviously, and I think we were left a bit like, oh, what was all that about? But I think this is a really good horse, and hopefully with a bit of time in the paddock, it's trialled up and it's won. I'd say we'll see this horse going back to Australia. The question will be, what does it win before it leaves? And also, what does it target when it gets over there? But I'm also equally interested to see how one of me faves, Melly Stone, goes. This horse was injured. It's back now. Watched it win on New Year's Day, I think it was. Yep. And yeah, it's going to be cool to see that back on the track. But the more you dig into this, you got like We Will Rock, for instance. You've obviously touched on Dragon Leap. You got a horse like El Vencedor that loves this distance.
Trialled well too.
Yeah.
Strong trial.
10 starts, 2 wins, 5 seconds, 2 thirds, 1 fourth. Basically 10 from 10 in the top 4. Tegan Newman riding, barrier 1. Does it just jump out? Get a nice posse there. Keep going. 14s and $4.20 though. First up could be the concern. But very, very tricky because the more you dig into it, then you're like, oh shit, there's Opie down the bottom of the book. But anyway, I'm going to just stick with a high-class quality horse and go pair for me here. And I think that a horse like Gospodin, if it gets its own way and they give it a bit too much space, a horse like that could actually surprise. So I might be looking for some sort of power play around both of them into the top 4.
Agree. I tried to look at the power plays today and they're not quite up yet, but I do have a couple of questions for you lads and a couple of runners here, and somebody who knows a lot more about horse racing than I do and is a much better punter than I am has this as its best bet. But Skew Whiff, how is that horse the favourite?
And 550 into 4.8.
Yeah.
Its
What's
trial
happened?
was ripping.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, like it looked good.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I've probably missed something then because I was really surprised. I thought Dragon Leap was going to be the favourite.
Yeah. No, I went back, watched it a few times, went to the front and just cruised.
Yeah, okay.
So that's maybe where it is there.
OP up as well, I suppose.
Yeah, lightweight.
And Waikato Stud sponsor, Waikato Stud colours on.
Yeah, okay.
They got an affinity, I think is the word, with this race. They'll want to be winning it.
Good draw. I did wonder, and I think that you might have shouted out on this horse last year, Luke, potentially. I think it ran in the Foxbridge as well. Little Johnny, what have we got any chance? Like, mate,
you just don't know what a race like this.
If the rail's hot and it gets there, it's quick. This thing bolts along. I love it.
So we're not going to be racing on a heavy track. Is that what we're thinking?
It's sunny all week, but surely they'll keep it heavy for the jumpers.
But also, you leave a horse like Darcy Labella out, and it's 3 from 3 first up. This thing. It's just going to be an awesome race. It's one of those ones where you're going to be so itchy to have a good crack because it's been so long since you've had a field like this. And you're either going to win the race and be like, fuck, I am punting.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be like there or thereabouts and be like, I knew I shouldn't put that much on. There'll be 2 camps.
I mean, you can still go outside of that as well. Like Ballaclair, the way it won that Fillies and Mares race was really impressive.
Mustang Valley? It won 2 Group 1s in spring last year.
Didn't even mention Mustang Valley.
Exactly.
I'm in so much trouble, Adam.
It's unbelievable. Look, it's such a great race. I agree. I reckon We Will Rock. If I was to probably go with a roughie, I'd probably go with that. I saw it running it was either Rosehill or Randwick a couple of weeks ago, and it ran home really well. It was on a good track, but it has gone well on a heavy track. It's raced pretty well in Australian companies, so why not? They wouldn't have just brought it back here for no reason, but I'd probably be happy to stick with Darcy Labella. Fresh records, awesome. Goes on absolutely anything. I think Alan Sharrock at this after it, he put it away in December. Said he'd bring it back in spring, and he reckons it'll be a good spring carnival horse. So it ran 4th in the race last year as well, finishing off well. Not too far off Imperatriz, although Imperatriz smoked them all. So, yeah, I mean, in a bit of a lottery where you could probably pick anything, I'd probably be happy with Darcy Labella.
11 wins from 17 races. Wouldn't you love to race a horse like that, eh?
It would be outstanding. Is Tony Kemp in the ownership, or is he just Ask Me?
Kempy, he's in Just Ask Me. He might be in this one as well. Not entirely sure.
He came to the Warriors as well. He was commentating, but he made time to come up and say good day and tell us that Just Ask Me was going to win the Winter Cup. And
how fired up was he for that?
He was fine. He said, "Fuck, I better not tell you blokes. You guys will just go and punt on it," and it did, and it didn't win.
That run that it had a week or 2 weeks before was outstanding from last. Like, you thought, well, the Winter's Cup says.
Clean them up. Yeah. Couldn't get there, eh?
Yeah.
That's why you don't punt on heavy tracks. Although we're going to this Saturday. Is there anything else you lads like from the weekend? I'm going to sit out of this conversation.
Not really. Didn't mind highlighted down there at Awapuni. $3 in about race 4, maybe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Seems to have found a bit of form.
Yeah.
Long way to take it down there. But
we will get to the best bets as well, but outside of the best bets.
Well, the only other thing that I did have a little bit of a look at was after my 150 hours of video, was race 6 at Tarapa, Queen Sarabi.
Okay.
That's dropping back from a 75, which was over 2100. It carried 54.5 in that race. It's up 2.5 kilos, so up to the 57, but it's actually dropping down to a 65. The two horses that beat it home were Dashwood and Diamond Jack, which are both racing in the race before in the rating 85. And you see the way this horse got home quite well in the last sort of 100. I think the extra 300 metres is going to suit it well. And then when I started digging back a little bit further with this horse as well and started looking at its, because it's got pretty poor soft stats. A lot of the soft stats that it had were in short races, which were obviously not ideal for it. So I'll have a little go on that.
What's
little
that
each
pay?
race, $5 and $2, I think.
Oh, and you get.
So a little each
Mate,
way.
you have spent some time looking through the fields.
I went back 6 years ago.
So 1984, this horse.
Fuck have you pulled this thing out
This
from?
horse's granddad run fourth in a rating 85 at Tarapa.
I love it, mate. That is bloody good. Mate, Adam, have we got anything in the comments? Surely the people are in there.
Yeah, no, there's a few things going on. There's a few welcome backs and good to be back. There's already an Up the Wires, which came in quite early.
Yes.
There is a good question in here as well from someone saying, Solidify had a big win yesterday. Do you guys think that there's a big future with him or there's something bigger for him?
Yeah, I actually saw that it just won Solidify. And yeah, I was really impressed with that last season. So definitely one to stick with for sure. Don't know what the target is.
Well, if you ask Roger, he's going to win everything.
Yeah.
Cox
He's
Plate,
got to go to
Melbourne
Hong
Cup,
Kong.
everything.
He's
That's
got to
true.
Hong Kong with it.
Yeah.
Hey, and Ryan Elliott picked up about 15 Group 1s last year as well, and he rides the horse, so
Yeah.
why not? Solidify. It's a good shout.
And there's one more in here saying, I think the question was about the spring horse.
Yep.
And there's one for a horse to follow is Crocetti?
Oh, Crecchetti, yeah.
Crecchetti,
Ted had that as a best bet against Trobrand on the weekend, I think.
Oh.
And smoked it, eh?
Smoked it.
Looks
Paid
good.
$1.40 too. Got the good colours on. Yeah, there's a few on the old Instagram the other day. Chummer_12 says Johnny and Darcy Labella both top 4. $3.20 would be an inflation buster. So there you go. Don't worry about Nationals tax policy or Labor's. You can
Just
can
worry
beat
about the
inflation.
Greens.
You can beat inflation with Johnny and DLB. A lot of Skew With love as well. A lot of people loving Skew With. Darcy, Pierre with We Will Rock, Pierre, Mustang Valley on a wet track, more Skew With and Darcy Labella. Those seem to be the two that come up the most, or the three. Darcy Labella, Skew With, and Pierre. A little bit of Dragon Leap. Some of Jodlin Gal, love that.
Jodlin Gal, yes, that one well.
Yeah.
Gotta say, so not much rather than Dragon Leap. Okay, well, should I
Yeah.
burn my ticket already?
Mate, but
or-
it just it smoked them with 62 kgs on its back. Like, it was a good run from Dragon Leaf. Like you say, like it probably is the class horse of the field. I mean, it makes it really interesting.
What? Andrew Forsman mentioned that. Was it Forsman horse? Eh?
Late,
Dragon
no,
Leaf? No,
it's
Scott.
Lance
Oh,
O'Sullivan.
Scott Lansford, Scott. Well, I read the article the other day where they think that they've like finally got on top of all of his, I don't know, injuries and issues that he's had, and they feel like he's
Leaping them.
finally
Yeah.
in a position where he doesn't have any pain or issues. So this year might be the year.
Hopefully, it's a very
our
good
year.
horse. The only thing with Pierre and Skew With being 3-year-olds coming into their 4-year-old seasons as well, I'm always nervous about that. We've seen Amaralina, Aegon, these kind of horses take a little bit in their 4-year-old season, eh? So, fuck, there's so many questions to be asked. What about in the futures, lads? Tarzino, Arrowfield, Livermole, any futures you like?
There's a lot of futures open, that's for sure. I think there's 13 options because you got the Karaka Millions. They're all there as well. But no, honestly, I could not pick out a winner. I'm a bit sick for it. I did think in the Arrowfield stud plate, there's a horse going around 16s called He's a Doozy.
Hey, he's back into it.
Fuck, surely this horse picks up another
Big
race
rap.
at some stage. Yeah, 16s might be a bit tight. Give me 26s and I could do some bad shit.
They're taking it to Australia, aren't they?
Oh fuck, are they?
Oh, I heard something about that,
Oh,
maybe.
Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, all
yeah.
Melbourne Cup.
That's Lisa Ladder. It's not.
Cheers, Lisa. Let us know what the plan is.
It's not Rogie, is it?
Yeah, mate, you've got to keep going with that horse. It won
Yeah.
you enough money last season, I would have thought.
He's a doozy. Sorry.
Dan, anything, mate?
Yeah, I don't mind in the Livermore, Campionessa.
Okay.
It trialled real nice the other day. And I'm just thinking with the Livermore, it might thin off a little bit with a lot of horses going over to Australia. So Prowess obviously is taking
Injured.
a step back. I don't know, like it was just a hoof abscess or whatever, so I don't know how far that's going to put it back and if that's still going to be over here. But
Yeah.
Legato is going to be Golden Eagle or, in Australia somewhere. Sharp and Smart's going to be on the track to Cox Plate in Australia. The Campionessa run him close last year, and
Yeah.
what was it? Oh, you probably know. You've lost a couple of bucks on it, did you?
Not me.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't go to the Auckland Cup, did it?
Yeah, but yeah, I think for $12, I think that field and the future's going to fall away a little bit. And
Always does too, eh?
Yeah, by that race. Mustang Valley won it last year. No disrespect to Mustang Valley, but I think we thought there was going to be some top horses in that race still.
Well, if we could get this punters club open early enough, maybe we could have a big launch.
Launch
Big bloody
Campionessa.
launch.
Go early
$12.
on the Livermore.
Yeah.
I'd be staying out of the futures for now because you never know how much it's going to fucking rain in New Zealand. Like if
It's
it,
boring, isn't
I
it?
know, but if it hoses down, you're stuffed. But if I was to take one that I think could go on anything, it'd probably be White Noise in the Arrowfield. I thought it was awesome on the weekend, and I reckon that horse has got a good run in it at some point. But like I see La Creek at the top of the book. They're not going to race that if it's heavy tracks, but if it didn't rain for a couple of weeks and it turned up, it could probably beat all of them. It's just so hard, but yeah, White Noise.
I did see someone was sending me a market, and I actually haven't found it yet, but I saw someone else mention it, so it must be somewhere. But, here we go. So, yeah, to win a New Zealand Group 1, the Grand Tour outrights, and you can pick a horse to win a Group 1, and somebody, I won't mention them, was basically like, what am I missing with Dragon Leap? And they're like, can you please message Ted for me? I'm like, fucking hell. Yeah, okay then. And Ted was like, well, seems an okayish bet. $6, I think. But basically, you might have a horse that you really like in there, and you can back that to win a New Zealand Group 1. That's quite a good way to keep yourself interested in a specific horse if you're not entirely sure of where it's going to go, or that it's a bit of a top liner. But it's got to be a New Zealand Group 1.
Where do you find this option?
So I went to Extra Markets under Sport.
Oh, wow, I've never seen this.
Yeah, and then there's the Grand Tour outrights, and there's a whole shit ton of options. Just what we need, eh? Just more options.
Getting us in early.
That stinks of something taking my money. Like, how is Dragon Leap not going to win a Group 1 this?
There you go.
Oh, mate, it might get injured, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, get on. That's a great marker.
Yeah.
I love that. That's outstanding.
So who would your horse be? Tell us, let us know, send us a DM, leave a comment. Who would your horse be that you would be having a crack at, and why?
Have you got your Instagram admin done that you're going to, or have we
Yeah, I read some out before. Yep, so
Okay.
we'll done.
we got that for the futures? But no, we're all done.
We're all good.
Okay, all right. Just this Saturday, just so everybody's aware, we always try to let everybody know what's going on in Australia with New Zealand horses. I don't think there's too many rocking out this week, but Ethereal Star, the Valley Race 6, who was second in the Karaka Millions last year as a 2-year-old, I think. Edgar put a big futures bet on it, and it's all he could say that whole day of Karaka Millions was Ethereal Star. Didn't get home.
Yeah,
But
jeez.
it's lining back up with Andrew Forsman.
Good to see.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
And then one that Ted's actually called out. I remember getting a message from Ted about a horse that was ran at a trial, and he just thought it was absolutely outstanding. And he said, I think it's going to get sold to Australia. And it did. And then on the BGP Facebook page, he put it out there called Gringotts, racing in the Valley Race 10. After he put it on the BGP page, I think it finished second first up, but then it went on to win 3 after that. So Ted's got a hell of an eye because he picked that out from the trials. Went and got sold. That's lining up again in race 10. So if you won something on that last season, get back on it this year because it could be very, very good again. I've dropped my piece of paper that's got the best bets on it. But should we get to the best bets? Do you reckon?
Yeah, we
lads?
should. Yeah, we can do that because we didn't even need to preview race 5 at Te Rapa because Ted tells us that that's his best bet.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pass that to you?
Mate, you go for
Okay.
it. I'm going to have to stand up, pick my paper up.
Yeah.
Let's get into the best bets for this weekend. Come on.
Race 5, Poser for Ted, $2.70. A very unlucky second here last start with pre-race plans going out the window, much like Matt dropping his paper during the podcast. Red at the start and last away and then ended up midfield on the fence. Couldn't get off the fence and got shuffled back to a second last at the 600. Finally managed to get clear air and turned in the widest runner, running on well to finish second. She had won her previous two and can return to the winner's circle with a better run in transit this time. Looking good in her work at Mata on Tuesday morning. $2.70.
He was gutted as well because they've done a little news item on it today on Love Racing, so he thought they got to it first. But I said, no one's reading that, mate. They're all waiting for us.
So what, it's gone out to 450.
They're waiting for us, aren't they? Good on you, Ted. That's your best bet. The GOAT's best bet for this weekend is in the Foxbridge plate. Like I said, one of the lads had to tip it out. Skew Whiff. So the GOAT, I think it's race 8 at Te Rapa, but everybody knows Foxbridge plate. And Matty from Punt IQ, great to have you back, brother. Thank you so much for sending through a little voice note while it sounded like you're on your way to work or doing something. I don't know, running some errands.
Casino.
Was that what it was?
Lunchtime casino slots.
Any time. Let us know how much you won. Punt IQ, he's got one for us, but he is keen to see how the track plays at the Valley before getting too invested, because last time around it was all on pace runners. But he thinks he's got one for us in race 4, which is a bonus back race. Hennessy Lad at $3.50. Draws nicely. Go forward tight, ran well last start, beating all but Braden Starr, who goes into stakes grade as favourite. And this lad starts at BM78. Looks well placed. He was going to go Braden Starr as his best bet, so if you like that too, get involved. But Hennessy Lad, race 4, Mooney Valley from Punt IQ. Thanks very much, Matty. We didn't get anything from Ben because he's in Europe. Probably messaged him a little bit late.
Yeah. I saw him in the comments before, so he's sifting around.
What's he doing?
I don't know. Must be, I don't know what the time is in Colombia.
Oh dear. Okay, all right, Dan, mate, you're first up. Here you go.
Stacking and racking the best bets, baby.
So Benny's got nothing from us for Europe.
No.
Right, okay. Thought he'd have something in Germany or something. I've got race 3 at Te Rapa.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah, I do. I was just trying to. Strathday. It's a very weird name.
Oh yeah.
Go take a look at this horse's last run. I don't know where it was, but it was at Tauranga.
You've done too much form, mate.
When I went back through and I looked through all these 150 videos or whatever, I went back and had a look at this horse. This horse got knocked over at the 300. Could not find a piece of air the whole straight. Got out with about 200 left to go, and absolutely ripped home. I've got no idea how this horse has drifted from 450 to 480. The favourite, Mineshaft, watched both its first 2 starts. I thought average. I don't know why it's paying 230, but some people are probably more astute, know more than me, and I've probably got this all wrong. But I thought, that's me. Strathday.
Race 3 Te Rapa.
Race 3 Te Rapa.
Bloody brilliant.
Joe Doyle on board. Outstanding, mate. You've put in so much effort to that form. I really hope it comes home for you. Good on you. Luke, what have you got, mate?
I'm going to go the last on the card at Te Rapa, meeting 2, race number 10, a horse called Ideal by Savabeel out of the good mare I Do. This is a 6-year-old, only had 6 starts and won 3 of them. Second up on Saturday, and it's got the Harwood form a couple of starts ago, which we know we love. Kicked their ass at Te Rapa last start. I think this could be a lightly tried horse. We're getting a good quote, $6.50, $2.40, something each way. Drawn barrier 14. You got the pilot on board, Craig Grills. See what I've done there. $6.50. I'll be having a little bit in the last to get out.
Nice, mate. That's bloody good. That'll keep your day rolling on. I'm going to go with a Craig Grills runner as well in the Foxbridge. Darcy Labella to place, paying $2.30. I didn't really know where to look, but $2.30 or even top 4 at $2. I just feel like last year running 4th in the Foxbridge was a very, very good run. It went on to win everything it ran in after that. It's got an extremely good fresh record, can run on anything. Alan Sherrick's got a big opinion of it, so I'd be happy to have a crack at Darcy Labella this week. But good luck to everybody and anyone that's following us, and actually, really good luck because it's going to be tough times out there on Saturday, isn't it?
You often need it. You often need it.
Luke, sorry, didn't you say you had a jumper to tip out?
Oh, yeah.
No. I was going to try and just name one, but I can't.
If anyone's got some complaints about people that don't like gallops racing, send them to Luke Kimmy's and he'll help you.
Yeah, there's a few jumps races on Saturday. I'm sure those are,
The Cossack.
Spectacle.
Cossack, Nedman, who knows? Yeah, good luck. Enjoy the racing, people. This has been outstanding. Honestly, it's so great to be back here. We talked before the podcast. We caught up for a beer around the corner, and we said we don't have a lot to talk about. And it's been fucking 55 minutes.
It happens every time.
Can you believe it? It's always. Have you enjoyed it, Dan?
Absolutely loved it, mate. Yeah, can't wait. Hopefully I get the invite back. We'll see if this one wins.
Mate, you'll be back. Don't worry about the best bets. The people will get on it and they'll forget about it.
You're going to ask if you can take a box of beers home? 20.
I wasn't going to ask.
Adam, line them up, mate.
Looks pretty good.
Hey, good stuff.
There's a keg here. But yeah, remember, 7th of September, it's a Thursday. Be here at 6:30. Who's going to step up? Who's going to come sit in the hot seat? Come have a trial. You'll be fine.
Seriously, please do get in touch with Luke. So we're not back here next Thursday night because there's not really much racing on that Saturday, but we'll be back on Thursday the 7th, and then pretty much every Thursday night from here on in, all the way through to Karaka Millions. And hopefully all of you guys out there will be with us. It was awesome to see some of you guys out at the events over the winter, and we honestly can't wait to see you guys at the events this summer as well. This whole community, it wouldn't be possible without you guys, so thank you so much for joining us tonight and at every single thing that we do. Really, really looking forward to the season. I can't wait it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Luke, mate, you have the final word.
Yeah, get the old Everest in the calendar, whether you're going to be joining us in person from wherever we end up being set up or watching from around the country. There's going to be a way to be involved, and we're going to be having a huge day punting and Karaka Million, 27th of January. Get that in the calendar as well. Get along to a race day this summer. Be a part of the positivity and the energy and the momentum that is in behind racing at the moment. The sport needs you. We still need people to participate, so there's probably never been a better time than now. Good luck on Saturday. Dan, outstanding debut, mate. You only got through 4 beers plus 7 on the way. You've done bloody well. I'm sure we'll have you back. Hopefully we can find a few winners this weekend.
What an
Cheers,
addition.
boys.
Great lad.
Loved it.
Take it easy, lot.